Hey everyone, this is Lorraine. I'm going to talk about this book now. Part 1 and Part 2, that's where you should be. Now let's talk about how this book is set up first. It's set up in 5 parts, and within each part there are chapters. So Part 1 is called The Obscure Child, and then there's chapter Marketplace, Stories Told. Instead of like being numbered chapters, there's parts and then there's chapters. And then there's a prologue and an epilogue. Let's talk about how it was when we first picked up this book and started reading it. I read the prologue. I don't normally read the prologue, but I read this prologue, and I thought, oh my god, this is going to be the worst book to read ever. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to stick with it. We set up this book. We told everyone we're going to read this book. I read the first chapter of the first part, and I thought, oh my god, I hate this book. It's going to take me forever to get through it because I'm going to read it and then I'm not going to remember what I read because it's not sticking. It's not like a catchy story yet. Then I read the second chapter of the first part. And then I'm like, okay, I can get into this. And then I read like the rest of the first part. And it's good. And so everything has been smooth sailing since then. Let's talk about the book a little bit. Okay, so it's set in 17th century Holland. And the characters. There is Marguerite, the mother, whom fled England to go to Holland so that she could live with her father. And she brought her 2 daughters, Ruth, the eldest, who is apparently really, really stupid and really, really ugly. And yeah. I think she's mentally challenged, but I don't know if people were mentally challenged in 17th century. Like, I don't know if people thought people were either, I think they probably thought they were either crazy or they thought they were just completely stupid. But I think she has some kind of disability. So I don't think it's Ruth's fault that she has a disability. And then the youngest daughter is Iris, who is also ugly, but apparently not as ugly as Ruth, but pretty ugly. And she's a little bit smarter. And yeah. But I've never met anyone that I thought was truly, truly, truly hideous where I'd like ever make a comment. I think everyone has something good about them. I think their mother, Marguerite, is a horrible person because she tells them they're ugly. I think she wants to be realistic with them, but I don't know. How realistic is it to tell your children they're super ugly? I don't think anybody thinks their children are ugly. Even if, like, maybe in their heart they know that their children are not the most attractive, I still think that I don't know. It just seems weird that the mother would tell the daughters they're stupid and unattractive. It seems like something would be mentally wrong with the mother to tell her daughters that, you know? It seems like when people are mean like that, they have something wrong with themselves and they take it out on other people. So something's wrong with Marguerite internally where she's taking it out on her daughters. So Marguerite and her 2 daughters fled England because her husband was killed. They killed him, and then Marguerite fled with the daughters to Holland so that they wouldn't get killed as well. So Marguerite obviously likes her daughters a little bit because she brought them along. But other than bringing them with her, I don't really see her liking them all that much. What do you think? I don't know. But anyway, okay, so let's think about this. So they fled to Holland to meet with her father and live with her father. Well, her father's dead. What a tragedy, right? Father's dead, so what they have to do is they have to, find a new place to live, and so they go begging and say, I'll do all this stuff, I'll clean for you, I'll do whatever. So that's when they meet the Master Schoonmaker. And Master Schoonmaker is an artist, and he says, okay, you clean for me, you cook for me, and I want to paint your daughter. Okay, simple enough. So they're allowed to live in there because in the shed, the apprentice usually lives in the shed, but the apprentice is gone. So they cook, they clean, the girls have to go get wildflowers so the artist can paint the wildflowers. Then the apprentice comes back. And the apprentice is Casper, and what about Casper? He seems kind of charming. Yeah, so he's there. He's just learning from the master, Lucas Schoonmaker, and what else do we know about him? He draws on the side. Apparently he's kind of a good artist too. So then they're painting portraits of Iris. And then they're not allowed to look at the pictures. And then Casper says to Iris, oh, well, do you want to see? And so he kind of eggs her on and kind of shows her the picture. And then he goes on to tell her that the picture of her, he painted it because he wanted to show how beautiful the flowers were. He painted Iris with a bunch of flowers to show the beauty in the flowers. He wanted to put this really plain, ugly girl in the picture to show the beauty of how beautiful the flowers were. And I think that makes Casper kind of a jerk to show Iris this portrait that the artist the master has done of her, where she looks disgusting. I don't know. You tell me. I don't know. So after that, they're going to sell the painting. Someone comes to look at it. That's where the Vandermeers come in. And they take the painting to the Vandermeers' house. You know. And they show it to everyone, blah, blah, blah. And then the Vandermeers want to keep Iris so that they can teach their daughter how to speak English. That's where first part ends. Okay. So far, when it got to the end of the first part, I was really excited because I'm like, okay, this is Cinderella. We're going to see Cinderella now. Clara is Cinderella, apparently, as I assume she's a Cinderella. But from what I get from the next part of it is that Clara is kind of a jerk. And she's already wealthy, and I don't know how it correlates with Cinderella as we know it, because Cinderella is kind of a rags to riches story, so I don't know if all of a sudden Clara is going to, I don't know. I think the second part was kind of a blur, where they kind of meet Clara and blah, 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 and it's kind of boring and nothing really significant happens, but at the end of the second chapter, right, going into the third chapter is where Henrika Vandermeer, she has a miscarriage, obviously, because she's bleeding or whatever. She has a miscarriage because she's pregnant. She has a miscarriage. And so my thinking is that maybe Henrika is going to die. What do you think? Do you think Henrika is going to die? And then the Vandermeer man, I don't remember his name, is going to marry Marguerite, the jerk mother, and she's going to maybe make Clara the beautiful daughter. She's going to resent Clara because Clara is beautiful, and she's going to make her do more of the housework. Is that how it's going to work? I don't know. What do you tell me? I think that's what's going to happen. But so far, it's been an easy read, but nothing has been like, oh my god, this is like a great book. But I'm kind of excited reading it because I always feel like something else is going to happen. So, I don't know, if you have any questions or comments, comment below. I can't wait for the next part. If you have any things that you want me to talk about, I can make another video regarding some of the topics that you feel are important from the first and second part of the book. But I'm already on 9 minutes of my time, so I must go. See you later. Bye.